Tyler Glasnow is a pitcher with a long laundry list of injury woes, injury concerns throughout his career. Understandably, that's been a top concern for fans since the Dodgers acquired him from the Rays last week and signed him to a 4-year extension. Today, we're going to break down some of those injury woes, some of that injury history, and why those injuries should mostly be behind him. So, welcome to the Oops, All Glasnow edition of the All Dodgers podcast. First, I am Clint Pasillas. You can find me as Real FRG on all the social media items, all the platforms, all those things. The links are down below. I'm a longtime MLB writer and sports editor. I covered the Dodgers for 6 years for DodgersNation.com as well as SportsIllustrated.com along the way. Now I'm thrilled. I'm here talking Dodgers to you guys on my own platform, and I thank you for the support that you guys have given me so far along the way as we're growing this channel up. Consider giving this video a thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button. All those things really help out the channel, but let's jump into the Tyler Glasnow stuff here. All right, little bit. I'll give you the background that I admittedly don't know a whole bunch about Tyler Glasnow, but in some of the research, some of the things I've looked up on him the last few days, because I, like a lot of fans, wonder about that injury history. Like, what exactly were all of these problems? It seems like a lot of the problems stemmed from one issue. So let's go all the way back. Start of the big league career, a little bit of a late bloomer, or really maybe the Pirates just called him up before he was ready. A look at Tyler Glasnow's numbers will tell you he wasn't quite ready for prime time. As a 22-year-old, as a 23-year-old with Pittsburgh back in 2016, 2017. Now, for lack of a better way of saying it, they kind of gave up on him in 2018. They stashed him in the bullpen. Traded him away at that year's trade deadline, traded him to the Rays. It was a big blockbuster. That was a big deal at the time. After slowly reacclimating to the starting rotation with the Rays, he was not great in his final few months with the Rays, but he was getting back into the starting rotation, and they had him all the way in the starting rotation to start the 2019 season, and he really showed out to open that 2019 season. He was kind of... maybe it's a bit much to say he was emerging as a future ace, but you saw the stuff there. You saw why he was well regarded in prospects rankings going into the middle of the aughts decade, not the aughts, sorry, the tens decade. So enter 19. Over his first 7 starts, he's crushing it. Posted 1.47 ERA, struck out 46 batters over 43 innings, but left a start early against, I think it was the Yankees. I probably should have wrote that down, but against the Yankees on May 10th, he was placed on the IL then with a forearm strain. That's how it was diagnosed. Turns out, probably was not a forearm strain, but we will get to that in a second. He missed 4 months of that season, returned late in September, got a few mostly really good but short starts to end the 2019 season, and then you move forward. So where Dodger fans probably are a bit more familiar with him. It's pretty mid in 2020. Dodgers got to him big time during the 2020 World Series. Nothing spectacular on paper for that year, but it's certainly impressive to know how well he pitched considering how injured he was at the time. In 2021, he was electric for 14 starts to open that year before the elbow gave out, something he famously attributed to Major League Baseball's crackdown on the sticky stuff. He had a great clip. We're going to roll a clip right now. Let's play it.
I had to put my fastball deeper into my hand and grip it way harder. And I had to, instead of holding my curveball at the tip of my fingers, I had to dig it deeper into my hand. I'm not a doctor. I know you guys probably know that. But I'm taking a fastball. I'm squeezing the ball twice as hard. So all of this is I'm recruiting all these muscles, and I'm taking my arm as hard as I can, throwing the ball. So I'm going from like a flexed muscle to letting a ball go. Waking up after that start, I was like, okay, this sucks. Something is weird here. And then that same feeling is persisting all week long. Then I go into my start yesterday, and that same feeling just, it pops or whatever the hell happened to my elbow. Like, I feel it.
So I understand it. You're explaining it, mansplaining a little bit. The pressure, you're gripping it harder. Yeah, that definitely didn't help, and it probably didn't help his forearm more than the elbow if the elbow was foreshadowing already pretty gone. So had the Tommy John surgery in 2021, missed the complete rest of that season, missed most of 2022, came back for 2-start cameo late in the year and was good and was kind of showing what was to come. 2023 was his most healthy year on record so far. He did miss the start of the season, the first month and a half or so of the season with an oblique injury. Oblique gave out big time on him during spring training, early in spring training. So I guess he got traded for the right guy, big time Ryan Pepio vibes, who missed a lot, if not, he missed a lot. We'll say he missed a lot of the 2023 season with that oblique injury, did Pepio. Last year, Glasnow made a season debut on May 27th, and after kind of up and down start, turned in his most complete season as a big leaguer, all with, importantly, a fully healthy arm and a fully healthy elbow intact. Now, where the video shifts to the positive, why we should feel confident about the big injuries being behind Tyler Glasnow. There's a clip, I mean, he's also talked about it in recent interviews, but there was a clip that resurfaced on Monday here on the Internet Machine that dropped the bombshell revelation, even though it's old. We'll call it a bombshell. We'll call it a revelation. I'm sure he spoke about it, but this was something, hey, I as a baseball fan, baseball follower, I didn't really know the extent of the Glasnow injury and the history and how long he was dealing with this elbow issue. But the revelation kind of lays out that this problem, this issue had been bugging him from 19, from 20 into 21, and it kind of explains a lot of the injuries, or the IL stints, and his struggles. So let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Like, I heard it in 19 against the Orioles, and I kept getting MRIs on it, and no one could see what was going on, but I was like, something is wrong.
Yeah.
So, like, and then the same injury in 20, and it would, like, kind of callus over or whatever, and, like,
You like sprained it and stuff?
No, so we look at it, and they're like, okay, you have, like, a tiny little tear, but there's nothing really there, and we didn't know what was going on. It was 19, the same thing. MRI 20, same thing. MRI 21, same thing. It was, like, around the same time it would hurt, too. I'd have, like, 11 to 14 starts, and it would just give out. And I finally was like, all right, my MRIs aren't showing it, but I need to let's just go in and do it. And they went in and they found that it wasn't. So on the MRI, you can see like the health of the tendon, like how, like, and so there was no tears in it, but the actual whole thing was like off of my bone. So when you look at the MRI, the tendon itself looked fine, but you couldn't see that this whole thing was like detached.
Whoa, so that's not a normal UCL tear, right?
No, so it just came off of the bone. I think it happened before, but you just can't pick it up in the MRI. And the doctor was like, no, dude, like we had no idea.
That's
like,
on me.
He's like, no, not even. He was like, it's the
Yeah.
thing. I was still throwing like hard.
Right, I
and
guess
was
you can't
still,
see it, yeah.
I was still like competitive. So it was like, I'm not going to get surgery. I don't need to.
So you didn't have any velo drop or anything?
Nothing at all.
Wow,
and I
that's
think
weird.
it was just, I don't know what the stuff around it was strong, but I think it ripped off. I'm positive it ripped off in 19 because it was like the stuff I had to do before games in 19, 20, and 21. It would take me like an hour and 10 minutes to just like get it going, and it would like finally start to numb up, and it was like, and I honestly thought it was like, all right, I'm just gonna have to deal with this the rest of my career.
Yeah.
So ligament ripped from the bone, just kind of chilling there. Doctors couldn't see it. I guess the doctors hated him for that one trick. The fact that he was able to keep throwing at full velo with a pretty much fully detached UCL is pretty damn impressive. He spoke about the issue again with MLB Network. It's a lot of the same stuff, but I want to play it anyways. I think it adds a little bit more clarity to his interview, or to his kind of his positive feeling about where he's at health-wise and entering 2024 and beyond, and why this is a good deal for the Dodgers.
So when did you start feeling healthy, and how do you stay healthy moving forward? What's the plan?
So the bulk majority of my injuries were always the same exact injury. It was always the UCL, and I had like the initial tear was in 2019. And it was just kind of the same for 3 years, and I kept getting hurt around the same time. And finally, even with the MRI not showing a lot, they went in, and then they realized that the UCL was like off the bone. And I'm pretty confident it was off the bone since 19, because it was like a grind every time I try to pitch. Anytime I try to throw, even in the off season for a few years, it was like, I just thought it was my new normal. But I went in and got the surgery.
Explain that real quick.
Sorry.
Did it hurt? Did it pinch? What happened? How did you?
Yeah, it sucked for 3 years. Like in 19, when it first happened, it was not good. And then it like kind of scar tissued over. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what it did, but whatever happened, it like kind of got back, and it felt like a kind of attached. And then I tried to pitch again, and it was just, I had to warm up for like an hour before I would pitch, and I'd like shockwave my elbow. I just tried to like numb up the area. And then as the years went on, the more innings I'd get, it was just every start hurt really bad. And I would talk to people, and like my velo didn't go down. So I was like, I don't need to get surgery. I think I just have a messed up arm. And then I went in and got the surgery. And even in the pain I was in after waking up from the surgery, I was like, yep, they fixed it. Like I could just tell something was different. And as I started to progress and started to throw, even like your first few months of throwing after Tommy John are supposed to be really painful, but I was like, this is amazing. It felt way better than
blood,
it used to.
spin it, shoot it back into the injury.
Yeah, all that gross stuff. So I was like, let's go. I'm ready to go. There's not as much pain. I feel good.
So the worst seems to hopefully be behind him, and that could be massive for not only him, but it could also be massive for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm sure you've heard plenty over the last week or so. Hey, Tyler Glasnow is dominant when healthy. This should be the healthy version of Tyler Glasnow. So let's move on to what we can expect out of Tyler Glasnow. Trying to make this a real, quick, short, tight video. What can we expect out of Tyler Glasnow in 2024? Dodgers general manager Brendan Gomes spoke with reporters on Monday. He touched on a number of topics, mainly surrounding Glasnow, but he did answer one question in the most Dodgers front office-y way he possibly could, and that's saying a lot with not really giving a lot, but also laid everything out there. The short version of the game plan is there's no game plan right now, at least one that they're willing to share. Let's play the clip, then we'll break it down a little bit, and we'll wrap it up and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, Brandon, on the injury history, he said kind of the same thing, that he thinks it's all behind him now after the TJ surgery. How confident are you that that's correct, and what kind of a workload can he carry?
Yeah, I mean, that was from all the conversations we've had. We feel good that he's going to go out and be able to take the ball as much as we need him to. And I think, we've talked about workloads in the past. It's going to be very fluid in knowing that we're going to have ongoing conversations with how Tyler's feeling and making sure he's, being able to handle his work and his maintenance in between every outing. So we're expecting full go from Tyler. And I think we'll handle him in the same, careful way that we handle all of our guys.
So yeah, they're not committing to anything right now. And of course they don't need to commit to anything right now. It's December, a couple months till spring training. Make it through spring training before you really have, or make it into parts of spring training before you really have a game plan. But it seems like this is lined up for 2024 to be Glasnow's best year on record. He's had a few almost all-star campaigns. If you look at his baseball reference page, of course, the injuries happened at just the wrong time where he didn't get onto those teams. But now with this far removed as he is from the Tommy John surgery, along with the things we already watched earlier about him saying how he's feeling, how he felt last year, how he's feeling now, how much better he felt immediately after the surgery. It's hard to see the Dodgers having too much of a restriction on him in 2024. Had to pitch a career high 120 innings last year. Again, the trajectory is going the correct way for Tyler Glasnow and the Dodgers. One factor in all this, the starting rotation plan is still far from solidified for this team. There's an outside chance, of course. There's an outside chance Yoshinobu Yamamoto can still join this team, but I also think Yamamoto plays a factor in my next point in saying that they could run with a six-man rotation, because there's a number of reasons why. If they do want to limit Tyler Glasnow, maybe I don't see Glasnow going beyond 175, 180 innings during the regular season. I don't think they want him to pass that, and I don't think the Dodgers want any pitcher to pass that. The days of 200-inning pitcher are probably dead. Walker Buehler, coming back from Tommy John surgery, he's going to be in that 120, 140 inning pitch range, maybe. You still have a very young Bobby Miller, who only got up to about, between the majors and the minors, about 140 innings last year, so they'll likely guard that next jump. And again, if the team does sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto, a big factor for him is he's coming from Japan, and they don't pitch on the every 5-day schedule there. So there's more reason to believe that there could be a 6-man rotation somewhere in the not too distant future. Did any of this help? Do you guys feel better about Tyler Glasnow? I hope. This was one of those video ideas, a little bugaboo I had in the back of my brain. I was like, I just want to explain. Maybe this is just for me. I want to explain to myself, and you guys could watch along, that the injury history does seem to be past. Does seem to be behind Tyler Glasnow, and this. You gave up 2 pretty big pieces. I hate seeing Ryan Pepio go. Like I said in one of the videos, I appreciate the fact that he's going to the Rays because I know he's going to get an opportunity there. But at least you're getting a guy back that should not break immediately, he said. But anyways, those are my thoughts on it. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Tyler Glasnow. Are you excited for Tyler Glasnow to join the Dodgers? Do you think he can put together an all-star campaign in his first season with the team? Drop down in the comments below. And if you guys have an idea for a video or something you want me to talk about when it comes to the Dodgers, I'm open. I'm interested in trying to give this community something you want to hear. Everybody just tells you what they want to talk about. I want to know what you guys want to talk about. So sound off again in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. It really, as I've said a lot, and I'm trying not to sound insincere, it does mean a lot to me. It means a lot to the whole household here. I promise you that. I hope I earned a thumbs up from you at the end of this video or by the end of this video. If not, just give it a thumbs up either way. Hit that subscribe button while you're here. I appreciate all of the support so far. It's been fun. And don't worry, we won't have stream issues again. I'm working on getting a new computer, guys. I promise it's going to happen. But thank you again for following. Thank you for watching this. I'm Real FRG and all the things. Those links are in the description below, and I'll see you on the next one.